Good afternoon, Cameron University. This week in SGA, the first piece of legislation of the semester hit the floor and 2 homecoming candidates were nominated. Guest Holly Neville is here with the details. All this and more coming up on This Week in SGA. Government, the senators and representatives discussed their plans for participating in Cameron University's homecoming celebration. They nominated a king and queen candidate. CUSGA reporter Mitch Watson has the story.
SGA is gearing up for homecoming as treasurer of the Student Government Association, Kara Kennedy, assembled a committee to take care of decorating, making banners, and representing SGA during homecoming. For This Week in Student Government, this is Mitch Watson reporting. With homecoming only 1 week away, the association started to work on organizing their end of homecoming activities. At this week's meeting, President Daniel Brown and Vice President Juli and Moini were elected as homecoming king and queen candidates. After the meeting, Kennedy met with a newly formed committee of about 10 students where they discussed the upcoming events. Kennedy shares some of the activities planned for next week.
Monday night there's going to be a comedian, which is really exciting. Tuesday night we have these people who play instruments using plastic. They're really exciting, really good to listen to. I'm really excited about them. Wednesday we have pizza and voting. Thursday there is the homecoming dance, which is moved because normally it's on a Tuesday night. Friday is our big bonfire, and then Saturday is a rally and the game.
Homecoming is expected to be a great week of celebration that will offer fun activities for all Cameron students. Kennedy said she's especially excited about a couple of the events.
I am really looking forward to the bonfire this year and the dance. But the plastic people, the plastic musicians, I'm really, really excited about, and I'm really looking forward to.
Until next week, this has been Mitch Watson reporting for This Week in Student Government.
Here with us today to talk about the first piece of legislation of the new year is Holly Neville. Welcome, Holly.
Hi.
Well, to get started, how long have you been involved in SGA?
Actually, this is my first semester with SGA.
Oh, okay. Why did you get involved?
I was voted for the SGA representative of the Art Guild, and the more I got involved with SGA, the more I've grown to love it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that's good. Let's talk about the piece of legislation that you introduced at last night's meeting. What's it about?
It's about golf cart regulations. For me personally, it's more about aesthetics, them driving through the grass, things like that, tearing up campus. They've just put in Bentley Garden, so there's already spots on Bentley Gardens where you can see that the tire tracks have muddied up areas, things like that. And it's a pride issue. You know, we should take pride in our campus, and those driving those carts should be doing the same. We also, you know, you get the normal things with the driving off the road and things like that, but for most personally, it's more about aesthetics.
So the legislation calls for the restriction of the golf carts to not be allowed to drive through the grass. It also calls for an identification of campus golf carts. Could you explain that a little bit?
Yes, it would require them to put a 4-inch number on the front and back of each cart. Also, they would have to start signing in just to give some accountability to the people driving those carts, and then students would be able to use those numbers to turn into the safety office, and that way they can hold it, you know, who needs to be held responsible for it.
What kind of things went into writing this piece of legislation?
For me, at first it was just I saw the problem. You know, it's very clear in front of the department, the art department, by the theater, and seeing this every day, you just start to kind of get annoyed with it. And by joining SGA, I realized there was actually something I could do, and doing that. So that's really what inspired me to do it. And then I talked to some other students who agreed that it was potentially a problem.
Right, so it's important.
It is.
What would you say to the senators and representatives who are going to be voting on the legislation next week when it goes into second reading?
To just remember that this is really about pride. I mean, we should take pride in our campus. We've worked hard to make it look the way it does. We've worked hard to, Bentley Gardens is a great asset to campus, and we want to keep it that way. And we want that all across campus, not just in the garden, but in front of the library, all around campus. So,
well, I wish you luck on that piece of legislation, and we'll see how it turns out next week. Is there any other legislation that you plan on introducing this year or that you're thinking about writing?
There's one with maybe like an art competition, kind of promoting the Cameron buying student artwork.
Okay.
Creating their own collection of artwork. Last year we celebrated our 40th anniversary.
Awesome.
So Jack Bryant did a huge, beautiful piece for Cameron, which inspired me to think, you know, we could actually have a really nice collection that would be an investment for Cameron.
So it sounds like you're really enjoying the organization.
I am.
I also noticed that you signed up to help with some homecoming activities. What do you have in store for that?
Right now we're going to do, I'm planning the window painting, which is exciting. As an art student, that's always exciting.
Yeah.
So we're also going to be decorating things like that.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
You're welcome.
And I wish you good luck on your legislation and the rest of your time in SGA.
Thank you.
In other news, guest speaker Hillary Ashton addressed senators and representatives this week about the Class of 2010 gift campaign. The theme of this year's campaign is Time to Move Forward, Time to Give Back. Cameron University's graduating class is raising funds to purchase a clock which will be hung in the McMahon Centennial Complex and to raise money for student scholarships. The campaign is asking that each graduate mark their year of 2010 by donating a gift of $20.10. Those who do will receive the class campaign t-shirt as a gift. With almost 1,000 students expected to graduate this year, this class could leave $10,000 or more. If you are interested in more information or in making a donation, call the Office of Development at 581-2612. The CU Foundation is still taking applications for students to work a phone-a-thon. The phone-a-thon is seeking to raise money and build and strengthen the relationship between the university and its graduates and supporters. Callers will be paid $8 an hour with the opportunity for bonuses and special pay based on performance. Applications should be submitted to the Office of Alumni Relations and Development in the Administration Building. The deadline to apply is February 15th. That's all the time we have left today. Tune in next week for more news from the Student Government Association. Please be sure to check out CUTV on YouTube by going to youtube.com and searching CU Internet TV. On behalf of everyone here at CUTV and for This Week in SGA, I'm Amanda Finch.